Szanowni Państwo,
Ladies and gentlemen, the President returns to the stand, and before he enters the stand, he's going to greet the Minister of National Defense as well as the commanders of the branches of the Polish Armed Forces.
Proporzec prezydenta Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej z pieśnika Sił Zbrojnych.
Now the presidential jack and of the commander of the Polish Armed Forces will be hoisted on the flagstaff.
Pododdziały baczność.
Stand at attention. Eyes right.
Okrzyk flagowy. Do podniesienia flagi.
Color party prepared to the hoisting of the national flag of Poland.
Szanowni Państwo, a nad naszym...
Ladies and gentlemen, and above our heads, you could see the team of 5 aircraft, and before that you could see F-16 fighters, which flew in from Łask. Let us look further on to the sky, because in a few minutes you will see more F-16s flying.
A tymczasem z...
And in the meantime, we have got a color party stepping out. Commander Mateusz bearer Stanisław Daszko, and Lieutenant Patryk Koroś assists.
Szanowni Państwo,
Ladies and gentlemen, let us look up over our heads. We can see 4 F-16s of American Air Force. This military flight past was a tribute to the heroes of the Battle of Warsaw. To commemorate the Armed Forces Day and the centenary of the Battle of Warsaw, hoist the national flag of the Republic. Attention, shoulder arms, order arms. Stand at ease. Ladies and gentlemen, an occasional speech will be delivered by Mr. Mateusz, Minister of National Defense. The 15th of August, 1920, an exceptional place, Józef Piłsudski Square, the tomb of the unknown soldier on the centenary of the grand victory, Polish victory for the freedom of Europe. I wish to extend my warm welcome to all the eminent guests. First and foremost, the President of the Republic of Poland, Mr. Andrzej Duda, together with the First Lady. Speakers of the Sejm and the Senate, ministers, and excellent guests representing our allied countries, led by Secretary of State of the United States, Mike Pompeo, who represents President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald Trump. A warm welcome to generals, commanders of the Polish Armed Forces, officers, non-commissioned officers, soldiers of the Polish Armed Forces and of the Allied troops. Especially, I welcome the U.S. soldiers, the soldiers of the United Kingdom of Romania and Croatia. We are the successors of the victors of the Grand Battle of Warsaw. We are grateful to them for what they achieved 100 years ago. They prevailed thanks to the heroism of the soldiers of the Polish Armed Forces, thanks to the talents of the Polish commanders, and thanks to the devotion of the Polish people. Remembrance of those deeds will live eternally. We remember what they did, and we are grateful to them. They are a role model to us and show us how to behave in our times. Once again, thank you to all the gathered guests. Thank you that so many excellent guests participate in the Armed Forces Day, and especially I thank the soldiers of the Polish Armed Forces for their daily service. Thank you.
Dziękuję, panie ministrze.
Thank you, Minister. Units, attention. Shoulder arms. Present arms. Eyes right. Roll call of the fallen. The roll call of the fallen will be read out by Major Robert Herman. After the roll call of the fallen, the salute platoon will fire 21 gun salutes, followed by the trumpeters playing the tune of the Polish Armed Forces. Heroes of fights for the independence of the Republic of Poland, inhabitants of Warsaw, soldiers of the Polish Armed Forces, compatriots. We are standing to commemorate the fallen on the occasion of the Armed Forces Day and to commemorate the centenary of the Battle of Warsaw. We want to commemorate the known and the unknown Polish soldiers who created the foundations of the Polish state and who defended its borders. I call on all compatriots who, over many centuries, sacrificed their lives at the altar of the homeland, and whose graves are scattered across Poland and all over the world. Those graves bear testimony to the Polish independence tradition, as well as our memory and identity. Report for the roll call. Glory to the heroes. I'm calling on you, the warriors from Cedynia, heroic fighters from Płowce, the heroes of the Grunwald battle, hussars from Kirchholm and Kłuszyn, defenders of Jasna Góra monastery, and the victors of the Vienna battle. Report for the roll call of the fallen. Glory to the heroes. I'm calling on the Bar Confederates, steadfast defenders of the Constitution of the 3rd of May, soldiers of General Tadeusz Kościuszko, members of the legions led by Henryk Dąbrowski, soldiers of Prince Józef Poniatowski,
bohaterów nocy
warrant officers, the heroes of the November uprising, and also January uprisers. Report for the roll call of the dead. Glory to the heroes. I'm calling on those walking on the path to independence, the Legion soldiers of Józef Piłsudski, the soldiers of Polish Corps in Russia and of the Blue Army commanded by General Józef Haller, the Wielkopolska and Silesia uprisers, the defenders of Polish eastern borderlands and Lviv, cadets, scouts, riflemen, members of Sokół, as well as school and university students. Report for the roll call of the fallen. Glory to the heroes. I'm calling to the chief commander of the Polish Armed Forces, the first marshal of the reborn Polish state, Józef Piłsudski, and his soldiers, who were shaping the independence and the borders of the Second Polish Republic. I'm calling on the legendary victors of the Battle of Warsaw, who in August 1920 repelled the Bolshevik onslaught. I'm calling you, defenders of Ossów and Radzymin, participants of counterattack from the Wieprz River, and soldiers defending Płock, Lviv, and Zadwórze. Report for the roll call of the fallen. Glory to the heroes. I am calling the defenders of Poland from 1939, soldiers of Poland from all the fronts of the Second World War, heroes of the Polish underground state, of the Storm Operation and Warsaw Uprising, as well as the post-war underground independence movement. I am calling on all the compatriots fallen in battles, dead from wounds, and those murdered by German and Soviet occupiers. Report for the roll call of the fallen. Hail their memory. I'm calling the soldiers of the Polish Armed Forces who did not spare their blood and lives and gave their lives in the name of the peace in different regions of the world. Report for the roll call of the fallen. May their memory live on. I am calling all Polish patriots who, with their service and work, preserved freedom, sovereignty, and independence of the Republic of Poland, and by fulfilling their patriotic duty, they gave their lives. Report for the roll call of the fallen. May their memory live on. On the centenary of the victorious Battle of Warsaw, I'm addressing you, the heirs and successors. May the heroes of the struggle for independence of Poland and their deeds, preserved in our national history and tradition of the Polish military, forever remain engraved in your hearts and in your memory. May they be a role model for us, a role model of patriotism, faithfulness and love to our homeland, as well as readiness to serve the homeland whenever a need arises. Glory to the heroes. May their memory live on. On the occasion of the Armed Forces Day and the centenary of the Battle of Warsaw, national salute will be fired. Attention. Shoulder arms. Order arms. Commanders of the guards, step forward. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to watch a ceremonial changing of the guard, which you know perfectly well, having seen many ceremonies held right here in the Marshal Piłsudski Square. Guard commanders are stepping out of the unit formations. They're about to approach the commander of the ceremony in order to report. And the music piece, which you can hear right now, is called The Vision of Szyldbach, commonly known as the Kozietulski March. Stand at ease. Colonel, Commander of the Guard, Colonel Kwietniak, reports the guard ready. The land forces have mounted the guard. Colonel, Commander of the Guard, Captain Marczyk, reports the guard ready. The guard was mounted by the Air Force. Colonel, Commander of the Guard, Captain Nalo, reports the guard ready. The guard was mounted by the Navy. Colonel, Commander of the Guard, Lieutenant Kudryk, reports the guard ready. The guard was mounted by the headquarters of the Warsaw Garrison. Colonel, Commander of the Guard, Captain Ratajczak, reports the guard ready. The guard was mounted by the Territorial Defense Forces. Colonel, commander of the guard, Captain Wolny, reports the guard ready. The guard was mounted by Special Operation Forces. Colonel, commander of the guard, Captain Kowalski, reports the guard ready. The guard was mounted by the Inspectorate for Armed Forces Support. Colonel, commander of the guard, Captain Pompeo, reports the guard ready. The guard was mounted by the military gendarmerie. Guard commanders step back into formations. Ladies and gentlemen, the guard commanders are stepping back into formations. In a few minutes, we will see and witness the oath-taking ceremony of the guards. Trumpeters from the representative military band will play signal called guard duty. Attention, shoulder arms, present arms, guard duty. Eyes right. Commander of the change from the headquarters of the Warsaw garrison carry out the change at the honorary post in front of the tomb of the unknown soldier. Changing guards step out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are watching the changing of the guard at the tomb of the unknown soldier. The change will be carried out by Lieutenant Grzegorz Kudek, and we will have 16 distinguished servicemen who will mount the guard of honor. They represent the units attending today's ceremony. They are Private Tomasz Brzeziński, Private Damian Popowicz from the Land Forces, Private First Class Piotr Grudniak, and Private First Class Daniel Kujda from the Air Force, Seaman Paweł Mroszczyk and Seaman Recruit Paweł Grzegorzak from the Navy, Private Paweł Bugowski and Private Cezary Łasicki from the Warsaw Garrison Command, Private First Class Grzegorz Obarski and Private First Class Mateusz Grzegorzewski from the Inspectorate for the Armed Forces Support, Private First Class Mariusz Szyszko and Private First Class Paweł Kowalik from Special Operation Forces, Private First Class Maciej Grzeląska and Private Wojciech Borowski from the Military Gendarmerie, and Private Grzelka from the Territorial Defense Forces.
Szanowni Państwo, w tak
We can hear the music base Squadron 303 of the unknown soldier is being left by Private First Class Paweł Sieczko and Private First Class Mateusz Rusin.
Pododdziały, baczność!
Attention,
Na ramię,
shoulder arms,
do nogi,
order arms,
pododdziały, baczność!
at ease. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, speech on the occasion of the Armed Forces Day and on the occasion of the centenary of the Battle of Warsaw will now be delivered by President of the Republic of Poland, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Mr. Andrzej Duda. Distinguished Madam Speaker of the Sejm, distinguished Mr. Speaker of the Senate, distinguished Prime Ministers, our esteemed guests, allies, led by Secretary of State, Mr. Mike Pompeo, distinguished ministers, deputies to the Parliament, senators, distinguished generals and commandants, officers, non-commissioned officers, soldiers, civilian employees of the armed forces, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, dear compatriots. The centenary of the great victory of Warsaw and the Armed Forces Day. How important day we have today. The day on which we thank our soldiers for their service. We pay tribute to all those fallen in defense of the homeland. But we also recollect that difficult, dramatic time, but at the same time, at the request